y'all, how you perking? I hope you perking good. So, Mercury Retrograde. It is that time of year again. It happens a couple times throughout the year where that pesky little planet Mercury, little planet, decides to do the optical illusion where it looks like it's moving backwards, look like it's going in reverse, hence the name retrograde. Just an optical illusion. It's not really going backwards, but still, it causes some shit. Okay? And here we are to take a look into what can we expect during this Mercury retrograde period. I have the questions written here from somebody who made this request, this video request. What can we expect? How do we prepare for it? And the do's and don'ts of what should we do, can we do, shouldn't we do, can't we do during Mercury retrograde. So there's a lot to cover in this. I'm going to try to do this as a short reading. We're going to see if that can work here. People in the past have expressed some interest in sprinkling in some astrology readings throughout. So even if we do politics, true crime, what to expect in the month of August, September, monthly updates every month of the year. Sometimes we do videos that are just for fun, whether it's celebrity stuff, pop culture stuff, conspiracy stuff, but we don't get to sprinkle in a lot of astrology. People have voted to sprinkle in some more astrology, and I got this request here, request from Pravina. I hope I pronounced your name right. Thank you for sending in this request. So we're gonna take a look at that today. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up these cards over here and move this microphone right here, Penelope and White, because I'm just in all this, black turtleneck shit. I don't have black eyes here to match me for this. So we're going to do it this way. And as usual, I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and in these videos we take a look at the tea with the tarot. Don't run away just by hearing that. We got a good track record here, and we're gonna dive in on this. We're gonna see. This is all alleged, just my interpretation. So let's see what we've got going on here in terms of what to expect, how to prepare, and do's and don'ts. That was a part of the request. If you are unaware, Mercury retrograde is starting on August 23rd, so I'm trying to film this early. At the time of filming this, it is Monday, August 21st, which happens to be my niece's birthday today, Emma. Happy birthday to Emma. She's a teenager now. Anyway, she's been a teenager, but she's bigger than me now, which is what makes this one significant. Anywho, we won't get into how small I am, but what we will get into is the fact that it starts, Mercury retrograde right now starts on August the 23rd, so Wednesday, August 23rd, and it goes through September the 15th. So that's a 3-week period that Mercury will be in retrograde. And Mercury, when it's in retrograde, affects several different things. The top 3 things that it affects usually is communication, travel, and technology. There you go. That's the third one, technology. So it can cause some sticky situations, and we're going to need to look into that. So let's go ahead and dive straight on into this, see what we can find out right here about this upcoming Mercury retrograde. What can we know? What do we need to know? What are we allowed to know? So we can dive on in and get some help. Help me. Help. Alrighty. I'm just laughing because we've already got these 2 wands reversals in the very first part of the draw, which that does not surprise me. Wands are a lot of times about communication and travel, so for those 2 come in the reverse position, I just can't be shocked by that. So I do see the classic three things going awry because, you know, technology being the other thing that isn't mentioned that. And then here we have one in the upright, one in the reverse. So we've got some competing energy, push-pull energy as it relates to that. And this being across the whole world card, you know, pretty simple there. Three of Cups, all of us, look at us, this is our group, all of that in reverse. So we've already hit the blanket stuff here. It's now time to dig into the details of what that means, but we've already hit the core three of, yeah, this particular Mercury retrograde, thank you brain, mind, mouth, same speed, is gonna be no different than the others as it pertains to early fucking up our communication. Look at me having talking issues 2 days early. Communication issues, travel issues, and technology issues. So it's gonna be the same with that. In terms of the details, let's just fish in and see what that might look like in this particular one that's coming August 23rd through September 15th. This particular one, how it's going to affect us. If we can get some further specificity here. Okay. Y'all, if y'all saw my last reading, for those of you who may not have seen my previous reading, it was called, I will tell you in just a second, it was called A Recession or Depression is Coming. You know, there's the reading to see if that is true or not true. And the thumbnail says, is a crash really coming? And we saw a lot of this Emperor card there. May have even seen him in that August reading as well. And so it's interesting that he's coming up in this reading, especially coming up here under our Magician card in reverse. So what we're going to be seeing in terms of some communication shenanigans in this particular time period is that we're going to get conned. I'm laughing like nervous laughter. Please forgive me. That is how I have to handle things sometimes. We're gonna get conned, or at least the attempt will be made to dupe people. And the thing is, it is likely to work on quite a few. It is likely to work on quite a few. It seems like this powerful person, most likely a male, is going to set the scene for something during that time period, during that 3-week period, and during that period, it's going to cause some kind of scattered messaging and confusion that is going to confuse some people in a way that benefits this guy. That's not seen here as a good thing. These things are presented mostly in reverse, except for the fact that the communication part is effective in this case at the duping, which again is not a good thing, but effective nonetheless. So we're going to see that happen during this 3-week period. What we're also going to see is related to that, but not necessarily causally related to that, just somehow related to that. We're going to see that there's going to be somebody or some people that basically, for lack of a better way of putting it, shoot themselves in the foot. They are going to end up getting in their own way. They're going to trip themselves up. They're going to do things, say things, be in certain situations that don't look good for them, that don't behoove them. And then where's that going to take them? Not very far. Not very far. And it's related to whatever this is. I don't think it's a because this happens, then this happens. I don't think it's that kind of a relationship. But somehow this situation with this guy ties into this person and or small group of people. It's either a person or small group of people, and they are somehow related. Not sure how, but yeah, they're going to get in their own way, end up putting themselves in a situation that does them no favors. And so already we're going to see weird communication havoc and stuff break down, mess up as a result of these things. In terms of anything else, let's see what we can find out here. Okay. Alrighty, y'all. I'm just saying what I see, and it's all alleged, just my interpretation as always. As it relates to some travel stuff, just be a little careful. Just be a little careful. I don't see this as a horrible thing, even though I know people see the death card and they're like, I don't see it as a horrible thing, but I do see that there would be an uptick in traffic-related issues, and so this fits within the kind of usual schema of Mercury retrograde, but in this case, travel issues because of two things specifically, because here we've got a Wands card, here we've got a Swords card. So in terms of the Swords energy, if there is any kind of like mental chaotic energy, so say you're traveling and driving while you're angry, or you're driving while you're thinking through all the different things I'm supposed to do today, and I've also got to plan this for later this week, and I've also got to make sure I send this report to my boss on time, and then this, all that multitasking while driving and stuff like that, those types of travel issues, traveling distracted emotionally some kind of way or mentally some kind of way, I see that as being particularly risky during this time period. So please, try to go ahead and vent out what you need to vent out, plan out what you need to plan out before you get into a vehicle or something along those lines, just to be on the safe side. And then also over here, in terms of things being of the earth, this feels kind of like weather-related events making travel more difficult during this time period of August 23rd to September 15th. And so this feels like, whether it's rains or storms or, lots of wind and turbulence or, any kind of air quality issues from Lord knows what, fires, and I hope no more fires, because at the time of filming this, we've already seen horrible stuff happen in Maui, so heart goes out to everyone affected directly or indirectly by that. And so we certainly don't want more of that, but seeing, that there are weather / natural disaster related events that could complicate travel during that time period. So just be aware, just try to stay focused, and try to do the best you can with that. Down here, this is more communication issues, and it seems to be specific to us in terms of how we're going to be communicating, because it looks like we're going to feel an uptick in anger. So, anger is not a bad emotion. There's no such thing as a bad emotion. All emotions are trying to tell us something. They're trying to express themselves. They're trying to discharge themselves some kind of a way. All emotions are bringing attention to something that needs attention. So it's not that it's a bad emotion, but there are healthy and unhealthy ways to cope with and express anger. And I'm seeing the temptation during that time period for us to cope with and express anger in unhealthy ways. Hence, we see this kind of a card. This feels like we're going to see some I hate to say it, but again, I'll let you just my interpretation, an uptick in violence during this period. We're going to see some more violent crimes. We're going to see maybe if people were going to say things or protest things or something more quietly or peacefully, this might mean that things could potentially get more out of control, snowball into something that wasn't previously planned. It also means people could get carried away if they're like, oh, I only meant to have an argument with my spouse, and now we actually ended up throwing blows or something like that. You know, things like that, to please just watch out. Be careful to make sure you feel that you are in safe situations at all times. And also be careful to make sure that if you're feeling any kind of things like build up within you emotionally, that you take care of that in healthy ways to the best of your ability, or find someone who can help you to do that, to ensure that you don't end up saying or doing something that you regret later or that could cause issues for you. Don't want to cause any kind of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, psychological issues, no legal issues, no employment issues, no familial issues, societal issues. We don't want you having any issues, okay? No issues. All right, no issues, please. So calm your tits and try your best, all right? During this period of time. Wow. Because there's going to be a lot of feelings going around for everybody, and that could be a problem. So balance is key. Look at this card, our nice balance card. Look at him balancing those scales real good. Yeah, you balance those scales, dude. You do that real good. He's doing it really well for a reason, so that we can see what balance looks like. And we can try to be the balance in every situation that we present ourselves into, and every situation that is going on internally within us. So this has already said a lot of things. Anything else that we need to know on this, spirit guides? Let's draw a little bit more. Anything else that we need to know on this Mercury retrograde period? Let's see here. Anything else? And while I am drawing this, then as usual, if you'd like to be a member of the Perk Squad, then click the blue join button below. If you don't see the blue join button, you might not have the red subscribe button clicked. So click that first, and the blue join button might appear to you. And one of the perks of the Perk Squad, of which there are many, our video shout out. So video shout out to you, Nola Lola, and thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. Shout out to you, Nola Lola, and thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad here. Happy to have you. Penelope is happy too. Yes. So, in terms of what we're seeing here, for anything else that we can know, we have gotten a little bit of what to expect. Well, we've gotten a lot of what to expect. We've gotten some do's and don'ts, and a little bit of how to prepare. This furthers that conversation just a teensy bit more here. This is kind of a happily ever after card, but it's sitting here in reverse, which is not the best position to see it in. And these other reversals right next to it, Lord help us. This means that as it pertains to things that you're trying to plant to grow, whether that means you're trying to start a business or build your small business, or you're trying to start a family or build your small family, or something related to home life, career life, those things that we tend to put a lot of investment in. We invest a lot of time, energy, money, thought into our small businesses and into our families. If you are trying to get any of that off the ground or make any huge changes, you may be frustrated during that 3-week period. Things may not flow easily or well. There's an upside to that, which we'll touch on in a bit because we're seeing some things down here, but let me just touch on the challenge with this. It will feel like a salmon swimming against the current. And so if you want to have an easier, smoother time with that, maybe just pause and wait until after September 15th if you're able to. If this is something where you're like, yeah, technically I could, just wait until after that and start putting in more energy. If that's available to you, that option, then maybe consider that. Because then the water will be flowing in the same direction you will be, and it'll be like on an inner tubey going down a lazy river. That's a lot easier than you're on the white water rapids and you're trying to swim against it. That shit's gonna throw you over backwards, hit your head on a rock, and then you're gonna end up on one of those Touched by an Angel episodes or something from the 90s. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Okay? So, just saying, if it's available to you to pause for 3 weeks, then please do that. If it's not available to you to wait, then proceed forward, but proceed forward with the understanding that it's gonna be kind of a tough go to be pushing against the current. Be gentle with yourself. Don't internalize that as, oh, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I'm just ineffective, I just can't do this, I just never, Don't allow that messaging to happen. No, okay, the energy is a little tough right now. I'm doing my best. I'm doing what I can. I'm doing well given the circumstances. I will keep trying. Tomorrow is always a new day. I can do this. Give yourself some stuff like that. It's okay to take breaks. I can be gentle with myself. I will press pause for a few hours and, take care of myself with some good old healthy food and water and then come back to it in a second. Things like that. So just taking in mind that as it relates to those, core things that we really have that investment in. Where this stuff comes out well is kind of what I was mentioning earlier about the fact that, one, it is possible that you can still make movement between now and September 15th, but that also afterwards we'll get the flow back. So again, the inner tubey down the lazy river, that's what that's coming up as. It will get easier. The opportunity will open itself a little bit more. It will feel a little bit more available as we pass this time period. So those are good things. And overall, just kind of giving a sense of this too shall pass type energy. So for those of us who sometimes when we get into sticky spots, we start to feel like this is gonna suck forever, and just because this thing sucks, it means now this thing's gonna happen, and then because of that this might happen, and then this will happen, and I'll never be happy again, or whatever. We start to catastrophize, we start to snowball and make things mean certain things that they may not necessarily mean. This is a way of just trying to see it for what it is, that it's the salmon swimming upstream instead of the lazy river, and that's all there is to it. You don't have to put any meaning on that. You don't have to make a mountain out of a molehill. You just do what you can. This too shall pass. We will get through this Mercury retrograde. Mercury cannot be in retrograde forever. It can be in retrograde for like 3 weeks. So that's what it's going to be. Anywho, there's a lot going on in this, and if you haven't seen the previous readings that kind of mentioned some of those first things there, then please do. And as always, if you'd like to book a private reading, then BeasTalksAndTarot.com. You can book a private reading with me on there, BeasTalksAndTarot.com. There's private readings, there's Reiki Energy Healing for people who want to kind of have a cleansing, clearing, tune-up. There's life coaching for people who are like, I just need some help. I am dissatisfied here and I am kind of spinning my wheels and going in circles, and can you get me unstuck, please? And then there's tarot touring for anybody who wants to learn how to read the cards the way I read the cards. And all of that, BeasTalksAndTarot.com. And if you stick around for another few seconds, then there will be a B-roll of funny, silly little puppy shenanigans that I like to end the videos with. Little puppy shenanigans. It usually takes an edge off of the seriousness of video content sometimes. It gives us something to smile or chuckle about, so stay tuned. We got some little B-rolls coming at you. And don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. Bye, me. Bye, y'all. All right. Rosie, are you doing it? You got your little mitts? Okay. Well, you know, you're kind of doing it. You got the front paws real good. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing good on the front paws, baby.
Hi, Stephanie.
Yeah, but the macaroni nails don't sound across the floor so bad.
Good girl.
Yeah, good girl.
All right, bye-bye. 18 low, Daddy.
See, the macaroni never bothered her anyway.
Yeah, they never bothered her.
Why are you recording?
Yeah, Rosie.
Good girl.
She said, ooh, ooh, shake it off. Shake it
Yeah. Look at you go. Teddy, you look crazy. Crazy. Skinny little hot dog boy.
Yeah,
Good job, Rosie.
I wonder if
Good
they
job.
were longer up the
William.
back wheel, like closer